Oh, YouTube fans, here again. I've talked about slasher films. I thought of this one. As you already know, I did The Prowler, I did the original Friday the 13th, I did the second Friday the 13th, and before them, I even did them before then. That being the series of Friday the 13th. I've done Nightmare on Elm Street, I've done The Burning, but I've never done this one. Never done it. Sleepaway Champ. That's right, Sleepaway Champ. Shot in 1983. What can I say about Sleepaway Champ? Starts off where you get a letter about kids going camping, and this is a bit where always got me, right? Always got me. People always said The Burning was what? A rip off of Friday the 13th. I think a lot of people seem to forget there was a lot of these type of films. There was a lot after Friday the 13th, and you could say even before, like Deliverance, even though Deliverance is more of a thriller, and films that say like Rick Rules. But this is an interesting one because it's more again like a murder mystery. A murder mystery. Starts off and he dies on a speedboat and he's speeding like a fucking prick. And because he's speeding and he's showing off, it also is an accident. And it's also an accident of these two kids. And it's also an accident of these people. It's also their life. But people think, well, that has nothing to do with the rest of the film. If you get through the film, you see where the rest of that story goes. So now it's like a couple of months later and people are going camping. But I don't like this one. I like this one because you do actually get kids in it. It's not your typical fucking 20-odds trying to pretend to be teeny poppers. These are like proper kids and proper teenagers, and they're probably half who here and there but are older. And you've got a lad and you've got a girl. The girl's a bit shy, barely talks, and looks miserable as shit. And you've got the brother. I'm assuming he's like the older brother. Definitely the opposite. He's a bit dobby, he's cheeky, he swears a lot. I like him already. Now you've got one, he's fat guy, okay, I'm not being horrible, but other people are overweight, but in all fairness, he's fat, and you've got the idea he's a fucking pedo. Because there's a bit in it where he's going up to the door, the one who's shy, he's about to do something he shouldn't, but lucky enough the film doesn't go that route, and he gets stopped in the nick of time. Now this is the bit where the film will hit a few knots, because halfway through the film he gets burnt. You don't see it. It's like, your typical murder mystery where you don't see the killer, but he gets burnt. He doesn't get killed, but I do remember he gets boiling water on him. Good practical effect. Really looks horrible. Now, he looks horrible to begin with, but it looks fucking worse now. So he's for being a fucking pedo. And you got this one lad, he's a bit of a knob, and he's playing pranks on people. Well, apparently he's allergic to bees. So he gets locked into a room. Surprise, surprise, loads of bees attack him. The killer puts bees there and he gets stung to death. Again, a good practical effect. You got one what a lot of people remember in Sleepaway Champ. You got the scene where this lad's underwater and he's on a boat and something jumps out. You don't see the killer again, but you do see the aftershots of his body, where he's all blowing up and puffed out because he's been in water for so long. So the film does do some deaths in it. It definitely doesn't fuck around on the meat and veg. But I think a lot of people remember the Tis Boy ending. So you've never seen Sleepaway Champ? Word of warning. Spoilers when I get to that. But you've got this one dude who's a bit of a bully and she's picking on the one who's shy. She's definitely a bully. She gets a well deserves. Because on roads gets a smack in the face. Now, you remember them things what women use to burn through the air and put fucking deadlocks in the air and they burn through the air and make themselves look pretty? That goes on some part of the air, but let's put it in a nicer way. It goes down below on that part of the air, down on the, should I say any more? I mean, it's been steaming hot. Even though you don't see it, you get the saddle effects. You see enough. You see enough to know where that has gone. Very painful. So I do kind of like that. It's actually you get through to do some practical death scenes. It definitely doesn't fuck around on the meat and veg and blood and gore. And it's definitely a ballsy film. Sleepaway Champ, in my eyes, is a ballsy fucking film. And that's what I like about Sleepaway Champ. It's definitely ballsy, again, shot in 1983. Now, you get people on the way and they're thinking, well, all these accidents are happening. And they think, these are not accidents, these are cold-blooded murders. Like, you've got one girl in it. She's having a shower. A bit of psychos get stabbed in the back. So the one I've got is the uncut one, and it definitely doesn't fuck around on the blood and gore department. And I do know they made a lot of sequels of Sleepaway Camp, this being the original, the Tacit, again, shot in 1983. It definitely doesn't fuck around on the meat and feds. So they're going to find out that these two couples, why all these deaths are happening, why people are getting bumped off one by one. You got one cheat, so there's a bit of a bully. He gets an arrow in the neck. Again, with practical gruesome effect. And but this is where you get the ending. The ending, I'm going to say, is going to be spoilers because you get to find out who the killer is. But it's not just you find out who the killer is; it's a surprise ending. Ready for it? We've been warned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The killer, the dirty was shy, the one that doesn't speak, the one who looks scared as shit. Believe it or not, she's the killer. She only looks young, but she's actually the killer. And there's another twist ending. Ready for it? She's not a girl. She's a boy. She's a boy. At the end, they find her naked and they find she's got a dick. I'm not being dirty-minded. She's got a dick. And she's got hold of this lad's head who died at home with her. She cut his head off. So she's holding his head. And you see naked. But I do know the derm who they had to pay the killer was underage. He was only about, I think it was 12 or 13. So they're not going to see a naked derm. So what they did was they used a cutaway of her face when they did the film. They used a stunt double. They used a model down there. And they stuck the head on the body where her face is like that. Seriously, I'm not making it up. And that's how they actually did the cutaway. They put it on the body. And that's it. That's a twist ending when you find out he's got a dick. Now people go, how the fuck could it be a boy? Simple. Remember the bit where the beginning where they have the boat accident and the father got killed and the kids got badly hurt? One was a boy and the other one was a boy. But the mother was this mother who was the mother of the kids who sent them to the Sleepaway camping. She didn't want a boy, so I had a boy. There's also flashbacks to that. It says, oh, I've already got a boy. And for some reason, she did this weird operation that made the lad half girl, half boy. So it's a bit of a sex change, but hasn't done the full-on operation. So the bit down there hasn't been removed. And that's where you get the vehement that it's not a girl. It's not a girl, it's a boy. So it definitely was, a lot of people remember the ending of Sleepaway Camp. They remember the soccer of it ending, and it definitely, in my eyes, was a soccer. And it definitely was ballsy. It was ballsy to see kids underage. It was ballsy to see some of the death scenes. Didn't hold the fuck around on the meat and feds when it came to the blood and gore, which, in all fairness, most slasher films did not anyway. And the ending, a lot of people remember in the film, I meant to say, Sleepaway Camp. You know, you see the doors just that, and it's a pause, it gets close up from far, fully naked, dick, the lot, proper socking, it pauses there, you get a bit of music, the end of the film. So it's definitely a ballsy film as slasher films go. Well, it's like I said, without repeating myself, a lot of people remember the ending more than anything else. And it definitely is a twist because you see the girl, you think she's shy, she looks very nervous. And in the film, she barely talks. I don't remember in any film where she does talk a little bit, but not as much. And she looks nervous, she looks timid. Doesn't look like she could harm a fucking fly. I'm not imitating Norman Bates when I say that. You know, she doesn't look like she could harm a fly. She looks very nervous, she looks scared. So for slasher films, there's no red herrings. It's like you're expecting all the way through the film it's going to be like another fucking Jason Voorhees, or it's going to be a lad, or it's going to be a man. To find it's going to be a lung girl, well, ain't even a girl, it's a lad. Two fucking twist point endings, and I dilute it for that. I think the film's got balls. I'm not about the ones down there. It's definitely a ballsy film. Always has me thinking to get inspired by For Your Eyes Only, the Bond film. Everyone remembers a Bond girl, Etsa, who was this really, really sexy looking woman. And then they found out that the Bond girl Etsa in For Your Eyes Only wasn't a girl, it was a fella. Bob the Elves wondered, did they use the idea from that film and thought, would it be a good idea to put it in a slasher film? There's always little elements of it, but I don't think the film had balls and without being chewed. It's Sleepaway Camp, again, started in 1983. It's a classic, and because it's a classic, a 13-star rating. That's right, a 13-star rating. The film has balls. I love the film. Into then, I'll see you soon for some more movie reviews.